Please be aware that the comments, views, opinions shared on this podcast are not meant to diagnose a medical problem and/or legal problem. If you do have a medical problem or legal problem, kindly contact a professional.
Welcome to An Apple a Day, a podcast, a resource, a community. Share your experiences and learn from others as we overcome barriers and learn to live a happy, healthy life with a disability. Welcome to the community. Here's your host, Jimmy Apple.
Welcome to another episode of An Apple a Day. I'm your host, Jimmy Apple. Apple a Day is brought to you by www.famousapple.com. Over at famousapple.com, you're going to find articles about the topics we discuss here on the podcast. You're also going to find access to our message board and our chat rooms, and they're up and running now. So go over there and join it. We can have discussions about things that have been discussed on the podcast. It's very interactive. It's very functional. It's very, very fun, actually. You get a chance, go over there, check out www.famousapple.com. So, how you feeling this week, my friends? You feeling good? Feeling strong? I'm glad. Hey, we got a good one for you this week. First off, we're going to start off with an update from Social Security Disability. I go to Social Security Disability and I do research on topics for the podcast and for the webpage. So I got an update that I think is interesting. I want to share it with you. Some things you may know, some things you may not know, some things you might have forgotten, but it's a good one. We're also going to discuss Ted and Emily. Those are the two people we talked about last time. Ted was going for a stress test and he was concerned about the possibility of needing catheterization and possibly a stent. And Emily, unfortunately, she has diabetes and it's affected her foot. Unfortunately, she's going to have her right foot amputated. So we were discussing that, and I spoke to her about that. I got a couple of messages from them. I like to share with everyone in the community here. And we're also going to talk about independence. People have different ideas about independence. The most common one is that you can come and go as you please, and nobody can stop you, and you can do whatever you want. That's independence, and to some people. But those are the people that aren't disabled and probably aren't married. But, for disabled people, we have different ideas of what independence is. And some people just feel like they have no independence. And we're going to discuss that today. We're also going to discuss, and this is a favorite of mine, are we stupid? Not just disabled people, but everybody. John Q. Public. Are we stupid? It seems, on the front, it seems that big business thinks we're stupid. I don't know. It could be attorneys, but, we do live in a litigious society, so I guess they have to cover their butts. But the things that they tell us are stupid, as far as I'm concerned. And we'll discuss that, too. But let's start with Social Security Disability. Now, I'm going to read this to you right from the page. If you bear with me here, I'm going to go through the 10 items on this. All right, the first one, this says, it's from Social Security. It says important information. Now it says, what if I work or want to return to work? Social Security has a program called Ticket to Work that helps people receiving disability benefits go to work. The Ticket to Work program is voluntary and won't cost you anything. If you participate in this program, employment networks or your state vocational rehabilitation agency can help you find, prepare for, and keep a job. You can find a list of the service providers and benefits and work incentive counselors and get your questions answered by contacting the Ticket to Work program helpline. And that phone number is 1-866-968-7842. That's 1-866-968-7842. You can also visit their website, www.choosework.net. That's www.choosework.net. And when you go there, select Find Help. If you work, you must call Social Security right away at 1-800-772-1213 to tell them about any earnings you have. There are special rules to help people with disabilities return to work without losing their benefits and Medicare or Medicaid. You must follow these rules and report your earnings to help prevent any overpayment that you may have to repay. To learn more, please see their free pamphlets, Working While Disabled, How They Can Help, It's number 05-10095, or the Red Book, number 64-030, Our Guide to Employment Support Programs. You can find them at www.socialsecurity.gov/pubs, PUBS, and www.socialsecurity.gov/redbook. You can check them out. Next one is, if you receive workers' compensation or public disability benefits, please let Social Security know right away about any changes in your workers' compensation or public disability benefit payments or lump sum awards. You must also report any new payments you receive. Now, to access My Social Security online services, go to www.socialsecurity.gov/my account. To create a My Social Security online account, to check your benefits and make sure your contact information is up to date. If you have Medicare, it is important that you keep your address up to date with Social Security. You can change your address or your telephone number, start or change direct deposit of your benefits, get a replacement Medicare card, and get a benefit verification letter online, which helps if you're going for a loan or what have you. Now, rules for certain family members. Tell us if you marry or remarry if you get benefits as a widow, widower, parent, or child. Tell us if a child who gets benefits no longer lives with you. Tell us if a stepchild gets benefits from your work and you and your stepchild's parents divorce. Tell us if you divorce or your spouse dies if you get benefits as a spouse. Benefits for same-sex couples. We recognize same-sex marriages. Visit www.socialsecurity.gov/same-sex couples to learn if you or your children may be entitled to new or different Social Security benefits. Life changes may affect eligibility for federal benefits. It's not unusual for people's circumstances to change after they apply for or start receiving benefits. These rules may increase your federal benefits. For example, if your spouse or ex-spouse dies, you may qualify for a higher Social Security benefit. Visit www.ssa.gov/potential entitlement to find out more. You can also use the benefit eligibility screening tool at www.ssabest.benefits.gov. That's ssabest.benefits.gov to find out more about benefits from Social Security. Social Security fraud. If you suspect Social Security fraud, please visit www.oig.ssa.gov/report or call the Inspector General's Fraud Hotline at 1-800-269-0271. That's 1-800-269-0271. Help prevent identity theft. Be aware of scams through the mail, internet, telephone, or in person. You should be very careful when someone asks for personal information, especially your Social Security number. Please visit www.usa.gov/identity-theft to find out more. Now here's some Medicare information. To learn about Medicare eligibility or to apply, visit www.ssa.gov/Medicare/ I'm going to spell this for you, MEDIINFO.HTML, or call Social Security, which is what I would do, at 1-800-772-1213. If you do not sign up for Medicare Part B, medical insurance, when you are first eligible, or if you cancel Part B and then get it back later, you may have to pay a late enrollment penalty for as long as you have Medicare Part B. So, in other words, if you can get it, get it. If you do have it, don't drop it. All right, starting in April 2018, this month, Medicare will begin mailing out new Medicare cards. Your new Medicare card will have a new Medicare number that is unique to you instead of your Social Security number. Visit www.socialsecurity.gov/myaccount to make sure Social Security has your current mailing address. If you have questions about Medicare coverage and billing, visit www.medicare.gov or call 1-800-MEDICARE. That's 1-800-633-4227. The Extra Help program may help to pay costs of Medicare prescriptions and drug plans for people with limited income and resources. Costs include premiums, deductibles, and co-payments. You can apply online at www.ssa.gov/Medicare/prescription help, or call Social Security at 1-800-772-1213. That's 1-800-772-1213. The Medicare Savings Programs may help pay for Medicare premiums and other out-of-pocket costs for people with limited income and resources. You can start the application process when you apply for Extra Help, or you can contact your state or local medical assistance Medicaid office. And that's it. I told you it was a mouthful. But that's some information you may not have been aware of or you forgot about. We'll post this all on www.famousapple.com if you didn't get any of the phone numbers or the web addresses. It'll all be on there for you. I'd like to talk about Tom and Emily. Tom was concerned about going for his stress test, didn't know what a stress test was, and he was also concerned about the possibilities after a stress test, which was a catheterization or possibly a stent. Now, his doctor was good. Tom's doctor told him everything right up front, which is good. I wish some of my doctors would have done that. I think that was great of the doctor to explain everything from the beginning, but like anything, like you know yourself, you go to the doctor and he starts telling you about something you don't know, and then he says a catheter or an angiogram or something, those words you know, and you don't hear anything after that. That's why it's always good to have someone with you. But he wrote, and he was saying this is what the doctor told him, and we answered him last week. I told him, I said, the stress test is harder than the catheterization, and the stress test is nothing. But he went for his stress test on Monday, and he spoke to his doctor on Tuesday, and good for Tom. He doesn't have to go for catheterization. Everything looks good for him right now. And he'll have to follow up again next year. He has to keep doing the stress test, which is fine. That's good. And he said the same thing. He said, Jimmy, that the stress test was nothing. He says, a little bit of running. He says, I haven't done anything like that in a long time, but he got through it, not a problem. And he'd like to thank everybody for the nice thoughts and the prayers for him. He really appreciates it. And Tom, I just want to let you know, we appreciate you too. We appreciate you being part of our community here. So good luck, buddy. I hope you're feeling better now. Go back and do whatever you were doing. Now, Emily wrote us after the podcast last week, and she told us that she did call and she's appointment for a second opinion, and she's praying that everything changes, but she doesn't think it's gonna, but she has an appointment with the vascular surgeon for a second opinion, which is great. It's a good thing to do, and it'll make her feel a little bit more comfortable going through this, I think. She also wants to thank everyone for the good thoughts and prayers, and she asked that you do keep her in your thoughts and prayers at the moment. And I told her we definitely would, and I thanked her for being part of our community. This is how we help each other. We share each other's stories, and that's why the message board, too, is good, because you can share your story right there, and we'll share it with everybody on the podcast. All right. We're running a little bit long here. I'd like to take a little bit of a break, and we'll be back in 30 seconds, okay? Don't go anywhere. I'll see you on the other side. An Apple a Day is brought to you by www.famousapple.com. Famousapple.com is the home site for this podcast. There you're going to find articles about the topics we discussed. You're going to find our connections to our Facebook page, and you're even going to find connections to our private chat board. So, take a minute, go over, visit www.famousapple.com, but please wait till the end of this podcast. Don't run out on me now. Let's get back to the discussion. And we're back. I told you, it's only 30 seconds. That's not too bad, huh? All right, I want to talk about independence. Now, a lot of disabled people feel that they've lost their independence. That might be true to a point, that they can't get up, they can't just go out on their own, they can't just go out and come back whenever they feel like that. If you're 100%, you can do that if that's what you really want. But when it comes to disabled people, their life has changed. So is everything else, and that includes their independence. Now, what you have to do, look for ways that you are independent. Things that you can do. You have to look forward to the things you can do, and don't worry about the things you can't do anymore. And that's what will make you independent. You have some people that can't cook. If you can cook, that's independence. If you can dress yourself in the morning, that's independence. If you can walk, that's independence. If you can use a telephone, that's independence. If you could use a computer, that's independence. Independence doesn't just mean that one thing. Sure, that's a part of it, but that's one part maybe you can't do anymore. You have some people that can't get out of bed. Their independence, they can turn on the TV, they can turn on the radio. But that's independence. They don't have to depend on anyone else to do it for them. And that's the whole deal, okay? The things that you can do that you don't have to depend on somebody for, that's your independence. You can't always wallow in the stuff that you can't do. If you keep on thinking the things you can't do, you'll never do the things that you can. So I'm just trying to say, like what you have. Don't worry about what you don't, okay? If that makes sense. Listen, if you have an idea of what your independence is, or what independence you don't have, share it with us, okay? Share us your thoughts on independence. You can email it to me at admin@famousapple.com or jot some notes down in the comments section here. And we'll answer you. We'll put your thoughts on the podcast as well. All right, I'm going to ask you this. Are you stupid? What is wrong with you? Why do you make advertisers put warnings on their advertisements? I think this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Have you seen those advertisements? There's a guy driving like 200 miles an hour around a track, and they're advertising, I don't know, Racer's underwear or something, and they're telling you, professional driver on the track, do not attempt. Yeah, like I'm going to go on a track and drive at 200 miles an hour. Would I like to? Sure. But am I gonna? No. What about the other thing? I seen this commercial. These people live up on top of a mountain, a very narrow mountain. And the fella comes out to go to work in the morning. He's got a suit on, and he puts on a parachute and runs out the front gate and does a free fall out the front gate. And he opens his parachute, and it brings him all the way down to the bottom of the mountain. And right across the bottom it says, "Professional stuntman, do not attempt." I never had a desire to jump off free jump off of a mountain. Did anyone have that desire? Or the person that's doing flips and parkour, as they call it, where they jump from building to building and up walls and down walls and what have you, and they're saying, "Professional, don't do this." Again, who wants to do this? Who's gonna do it? Why do you feel the need to have to tell us this? Is it your lawyers, so this way you don't get sued in case some moron just does it? I say, don't put any warnings on anything and let nature take its course. If these people are stupid enough to skydive off of a mountain, go ahead, do it. I seen it with the people in the kayaks. There's a commercial for kayaks, and they're out there rowing, and they see underneath them there's this huge fish. It's like reminiscent of Jaws, and they're saying, "Professional, do not attempt this." Well, first of all, I don't want to be in a kayak. Second of all, if I see a shadow under the water, I don't care whether it's bigger than me or if it's a minnow. I'm not going to go near it. I mean, it doesn't make sense. All this nonsense. You know, people climb, people drive their cars off-road, don't attempt. There's that one commercial, I think it's for Land Rover, I'm not sure, where this Oriental fella in China or something drives up this row of steps. They say there's 999 steps, and he drives from the bottom all the way up to the top. And as he's doing this, there it goes right underneath it. This is a professional driver on a closed course. Do not attempt. How many times did you you get close enough with a car to ride up the steps. Why would you ride up the steps? Does it make sense? It doesn't make sense to me. But what bothers me is, and this may sound stupid, what bothers me is I'm looking at the TV. I don't like commercials to begin with, and they're writing this on there like I am stupid, like I am going to go out and try and do this. Or, here's the other thing. You see those lawyers commercials, and right across the front of the screen, non-lawyer, paid spokesperson. I don't care. I don't care if that's the lawyer or if it's not the lawyer. I don't care. But why are you doing this? Are we children? Do big businesses think we're children and we're going to run out and do what they're showing us on TV? And if you're worried about the children, how many children do you know that read those little white letters going across? They don't. But they treat us like we're ignorant. And that just bothers me. That bothers me to no end. If you know a commercial, or if you see a commercial that you think is so stupid that they have to put a warning on it, send it to me. Please. Put it in the comment box, put it on the chat board, the message board on the website, or send me an email. But please send it to me. I look at it and I slap myself in the head going, what do these people think? You know, we grew up in a time when we had Evel Knievel who jumped across the Grand Canyon. No one ever put warnings on that. We seen the worst and nobody put warnings on it. You ever watch The Walking Dead? The Walking Dead comes up with a warning. Content may be not suitable for younger viewers. Well, how stupid are you? This is The Walking Dead. They're killing zombies. Why would you think that would be suitable for your 5-year-old to watch? Or your 10-year-old for that matter? And what kills me there is they don't want to let them watch the zombies being killed, but they give them these video games. And the video games, of course, have warnings on it, but they give these kids video games where they're going out, oh, maybe they're not shooting zombies. And instead, they're shooting people on the street and robbing cars and what have you. It's just so stupid. And I was watching TV the other day, and I just seen like 5 commercials right in a row. People doing stupid things. Someone jumping on top of a car and riding on top of the car. Warning, professional driver on a closed course. Do not attempt. When did you ever want to ride on top of a car? Someone jumping in the ocean and they're swimming and there's a shark and he's petting the shark and you're going, warning, this is a professional, whatever he is, don't pet the shark. I don't understand. Do the lawyers make them do this? Are they worried that someone's going to go out and do this and say, well, I seen it on a Chevrolet commercial or a Mr. Goodbar commercial. I don't understand. But let me know what your favorites are. Let me know the ones that make you crazy. I don't know. They all make me crazy. Well, I hope you enjoyed yourself here today. If you did, please leave us a comment in the comment box. Let your friends know about us. I hope you have a great week. And I want to leave you with something here that I do all the time. Remember, things can always be worse. If you don't like the situation you're in, try and make it better. If you can't make it better, just accept it for what it is. Thanks again for stopping by, my friends. I will talk to you more earlier in the week, and I definitely would talk to you next Friday. Have a great week. Jimmy Apple, out.
Thanks for listening to An Apple a Day with Jimmy Apple, your gateway to a happy, healthy life. Join our community at www.famousapple.com. See you next time.